Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. And today is the last recording session before the grand tournament comes out tomorrow. So this will be our last big push to get any gold above the 5,000 we're gonna spend to buy 50 packs. I've gotten a new quest here, win 5 tavern brawls, and then I've already worked a little bit on paladin and warrior dominance, and I've curated this so that I get 61, 21, 80 gold, which is pretty good, but we gotta get tavern brawls, and this is gonna be strange, because it is just a grand tournament, which we've already won 5 on, and I'm not sure I can pick things. I need to play, I suppose, as maybe a warlock or a shaman, maybe a paladin, maybe a warrior. I just listed them all. And I don't think I can. Because it's not letting me for this tavern thing. Tavern brawls, pick who I'm playing as. This is the problem. This is the problem right here.
Illyria versus Medivh!
Which of our valiant knights will be named champion today?
Let the games begin.
So this is the hunter, and this is the mage, and that's all there is to it. Those are the only two options we can play. And there was no real special trick going on with this card set. It was just new grand tournament cards. So, boy, if I had known I was going to get this quest, I would not have bothered to play 5 grand tournament games. Let's see.
Job's done.
Okay, a new card for me. And then in turn. So I don't know how we're gonna really do this. We got grand tournaments to play with the hunter, and I'm not playing as the other hunter character. Well, it doesn't matter. This is hunter, and I need a warrior quest. That's one thing I've realized that's missing here, is you can't just bring up in the menu a simple, yeah, here's what your objectives are. So you would have to escape all the way back to the main menu by conceding.
Job's done.
Just to see what your quests are. Which is an easy enough thing for them to fix. I just hope they fix it at some point. I doubt they will in the grand tournament. Like I've said before, I've thought maybe somewhere around 10 plus episodes will be made and released as soon as possible for the grand tournament celebration. Hopefully they get me as many views as I've seen for like Blackrock Mountain. And then we're pretty much just going to go back to regular play. Next recording session you'll be seeing me play with probably all new decks and all new cards in those decks. So this is kind of the farewell too to these decks. They were better than what I started with when I first started this series, which was a long time ago. But they weren't great decks. I was very, very limited in cards, and I'm still very limited in cards. I would say very limited anymore. I'd say I'm moderately limited. I think we've gone over that hump a lot. We've gotten over the first hill to really having some... Well, if this guy is going to just do this, I hope he just disconnects or concedes. Because I've got 15 games to win here. We very well may go 3 episodes this time. Yes, great. Another joust 1. Must not get complacent. Interesting. Right now I've made a horrible accident. I mean, it wasn't even a mistake, it was an accident.
The beasts obey me.
I'm recording a series, The Anti-Chamber. It was going fine at some point.
Well done.
Okay, they just conceded. One victory down. We will get to see 10 victories on the Tavern Brawl, just in case that actually does give us something. So everything was going fine. I was recording Anti-Chamber. At some point, I bumped my phone, which has a remote app on it that I use to look and watch how long I've been recording. For instance, I've been recording right now for about 7 minutes. Ever since I started using that, it has really allowed me to be better
Let the games
about
begin.
just having a very consistent 30-minute episode on a lot of my series. Not so much on this series because it's hard. It's real difficult to time out this. I can't just hit pause and end the episode. I have to wait till the game is done. But beyond that, it's working rather well. Unfortunately, instead of just being a timer, and yes, I could just run a timer on my app, but then I wouldn't see if I'm actually recording in case something messed up. And there is a bit of a delay when you hit the record button on OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, and when it starts actually recording, it gets a buffer and such, and so I wait until it says the frames per second is a certain height at a certain level.
You face death.
So I wouldn't be able to see any of that, but because it's a remote, if you hit any of the buttons, it might turn off the input, and that's exactly what it did. It turned off the video input for Anti-Chamber for 3 episodes, an hour and 35 minutes, about. I don't know why I'm being so specific.
Interesting.
Let's see, we'll do this. And now this does 2 damage. And this guy gets inspired again, he gains health. So if I can use this, let's see, in 2 turns I could use it twice. A tie, he loses. It's kind of odd that the jousts... Oh, I'll
I am
take that.
freed from the curse.
Your hero power can do 1 extra damage. Well, I don't want to kill this guy. So let's do this. Unfortunately, that's not going to help this guy, but I still need to kill this guy.
Your turn to fall.
End the turn. This is really working. If I summon this guy, I can use my hero power any number of times. But I'll just use it twice. Okay.
For ranks!
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Let's see. Hit this. And hit this.
Take this blade.
Hit this.
Job done.
Bear trap. Okay. That's fine. End the turn.
The beasts obey me.
So yeah, I went through not only 3 episodes of Andy Chamber, literally the last 3. That's the worst part. It was the absolute last 3 of them. I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do some more of like this. If I did this, and then this, and
Take this blade.
this, and
We're
then
using
this,
real swords.
this. Do I want to use Flame Lance? Or do I want to transform somebody into a boar with charge? Or do I want to just use taunt? Let's just put taunt. There we go. That should work. So I beat the entire game of Anti-Chamber and now I have no footage of it. And now I'm gonna have to go back several steps and attempt to some way recreate the magic, as it were. Alright, so we hit this. Oh, I can only use it once, it says. But what if I do this? Now I can use it as many times as I want. Haha. Didn't think of that through. Not that he could have, he didn't know I was going to do that. Freezing trap sends him back. Oh, that's no problem at all.
Take this blade.
That.
We're
and
using
that.
real swords.
There's another victory for me. So far I'm liking the Grand Tournament cards. Nobody knows how to play with them. So I'm able to pull off these victories pretty nicely. I think also it's probably the fact that we're going to get a lot of new people in Hearthstone, which means I can probably trounce some of them. We will be getting back to rank play pretty soon too. Probably next recording session will have ended the season, and so I'll have to play back up to rank 20. That's all I care about.
Let the games begin.
I would prefer to play as the hunter, because if I play as the mage class, that's already at max level. We're making slow progress towards max leveling the paladin also, and that will have us close to 50-50 of, well, 3 max level and 6 not max level, so not close to 50-50. Close to 1/3 of the way done. I just recently finished recording The Wolf Among Us. I started and recorded it in a very short time. I'm trying to get back into my usual schedule. I've been bad for a short amount, for about a week, of watching Netflix and watching TV and not recording. A lot of it had to do with this laziness of not wanting to schedule let's see, what was it? Tomb Raider, the 2013 Tomb Raider game. I was recording that and just didn't want to do the scheduling and the all that. I also sped and improved that, I think, scheduling in general, because it's now at a point where I've got a formula. Ooh, a 10. Boy, did I lose that.
My popcorn.
In the turn here. So I now know, as long as I stick to putting information in the schedule, I now know what time slot is going to run out first, so I know what game to play. I have, instead of just being like, well, I've got 100 games on Steam, which is going down quickly, that number. Let's be realistic. Darn it. Okay. We're gonna change this to 1. Attack this. And then attack this. And then return. Didn't get so lucky this time. But, so now I'm like I have 5 games in a row that I know I'm gonna play. Although technically Antichamber wasn't on that list, I decided to play I had a different game that I was gonna play, and I said, you know what, let's play this instead. Doesn't really matter. It's just one of the things I'm noticing, and it's kind of a problem, is that just generally speaking, there are a lot more what I would say Teen Plus games or TVMA games than there are games that that you could really say a 10 or 12-year-old would be fine with watching this and their parents wouldn't be upset about it, which is really the point. So I don't know really how to fix that. That is kind of an industry-wide problem, I suppose, of games, is that they tend to be for older people. A lot of things tend to be for older people when you really start to think about it, like books, comic books,
I am undefeated.
movies, TV. It's really, really hard to find a good quality and abundant amounts of content for younger people.
Job done.
And it's kind of this weird dividing line. It's like, here's something that is fine, I'd say is good content for them to watch if they're over a certain age, and then if they're under a certain age, it's pretty much all just like shows selling you toys and really bad shows, no effort put in them at all. And I wish that wasn't the case. Comic books in particular have that problem. You can't. I mean, you really can't find a month's worth of reading. At least I couldn't. You kind of, and then parents always wonder why the kids are always watching the same shows over and over again. And all that. It's like, well, they don't have a choice.
Well played.
Let's see. Deal 3 damage to a minion and enemy hero. Let's just do this. I can't do that, darn. I don't want to kill my own guy, do I? Nope. It's just in the turn. Oh, by the way, though, I didn't finish my story. How I finally figured out to fix the remote app on my phone is I've installed an app now that just blocks all tapping to the screen, which is a horrible thing to do. Really, but you have to now triple tap to unlock the screen, and so it's kind of unlikely, although it's still possible that you could drop your phone and hit the screen 3 times in a quick succession.
In the grand tournament, you win or you die.
The Skeleton Knight. These guys, do they celebrate every time you summon somebody? Well, they don't celebrate when... Oh, they do. They kind of... They do something every move. That's pretty cool. So basically now I can look at my screen. I have it set up so that the screen doesn't go off as long as it's plugged in. So I can sit here for hours of recording and not have to worry about that. In the turn. So I think I can win this pretty well. Play this, play this, play this. Next turn, that should work. Even if he kills this guy, which he very well might, I'm still set. I've had a good run here of just... So we deal 3 here, and then 3 there. Kinda wish they would celebrate then. 2. That would be nice. We've been going 22 minutes. It's been pretty fast. So I don't know what really is on the forefront of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of working through the games. Fallout 4 is coming. Should I play Fallout 4? Is the question I ask myself almost every day.
Before the might of the elves.
I've just finished The Witcher 3, so kind of understand where I'm coming from. I just finished a long game that was somewhat similar to that game already.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
A ton of views. Not really any views at all. And that has been pretty consistent with all of my...
Run away!
With all of my new games I've played. And I totally feel it. I totally feel it when you're paying $50, $60 for a game and then you're not getting any views. So I'm not sure I'm catching anybody's attention on the new game market. And if I'm gonna try to do something like that and get people's attention, maybe I should focus more on free-to-play games, things that don't cost anything, things that are cheaper.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Which is better, to have in my mind at least, I think it's better to have $61 games, even if that's just 60 spotlights, than one game. Then let's see, draw a card. If it's a beast, it costs one less. Let's see if this works. Darn it. Darn the luck. Well, end of the turn. So I'm not thinking I am gonna do Fallout 4. I might, but I'm not gonna have all my games recorded. And we just had this whole Batman situation where even if it was purchasable, I mean, it's still not even purchasable. The game itself isn't that good. Alright, well, I don't think that locked and loaded worked as well as I had hoped. So maybe Fallout 4 is gonna suck. I hope it doesn't, but I don't know. And I have Deus Human Revolution I need to play, and that is gonna be somewhat similar to that game. Let's see. One here. One here. In turn. So, yeah, why should I play Fallout 4? I probably will play it, but I just don't see the new thing. I think the people that are fans of Fallout are going to be playing the game. Inherently, that is one of the problems, is that when you realistically start thinking about the people that would be your audience, he always gives you carrots, but he says they're funnel cakes. Inherently, the biggest fans of your series, that of a specific game, are gonna go play it when it's new. It almost pushes me to the thought that maybe I will always be doing old games. Wait till the hype dies down. Wait till people at least somewhat have played the game. Okay, what can I do? I could deal 3 damage to one of these guys. I could place this. Let's place this. Deal 3 damage to this guy.
Run away!
Let's hit this guy. And in return. This is kind of funny. This has a 50% chance of getting charged. If I have this summoned, it will have a 100% chance of charge. Oh darn, that would have been nice if that had hit that. Each spell, play this spell, hit this in the face, hit this in the face, in the turn. You may still win this. Pull some stuff off. Let's try this. Come on, win. Yes.
Well played.
So that takes out these two. Well, he could use a fireball on this. Or he could just silence it. Darn it! First loss. First loss of this episode. I would well play that if it gives me time. Oh well, we're still doing pretty well. I think these 3 episodes very well might go pretty long too. I've kind of caught up in my laziness of sitting around and not recording. I've kind of caught up on all the podcast radio stuff I listen to when I'm not playing, so there's no real reason for me to not continue playing on screen. Might as well make the episodes a little bit longer. Let me know in the comments if you prefer shorter episodes and just miss me playing, or if you like longer ones. Honestly, I don't get a lot of views on these episodes either, but until I want to stop recording Hearthstone altogether, I might as well record it while I'm doing the quest, unless they get rid of the quest system, which I would be kind of happy for if they revamped or just got rid of it. Oh, we may get a quick disconnect here. That would be nice. The real issue, I would say, is some of my best episodes have been Hearthstone announcement episodes. In fact,
One day I'll be
almost
a real
all
knight.
of my best episodes are Hearthstone related in some form, so I wouldn't really want to go down that route and just get rid of Hearthstone. Definitely a lot of my series haven't got a lot of views yet, but I am still growing, so I can't complain too much. YouTube is never probably going to be a place where you're just going to put out one video and get a million views. It's going to be more and more as time goes by. You're going to have to put out more and more work to climb over everything else and hopefully succeed. Which makes it a really unrealistic career. Wow, I can't believe I lost that.
My sincerest apologies.
Because if you go work at any other job, you're gonna see a paycheck within a month at most. Very few jobs don't pay you at all if they're legitimate jobs. Those are scams, and it is actually very frequent, a lot more than most people realize, where employers just rip off and don't pay their employees. But ignoring that for a second, YouTube is the only one that really is a situation where you might not see any money for years and years. It definitely, I mean, the minimum is $100 to pull anything at all. So you have to get $100 of ad revenue, and that's probably going to take me at least over a year. I wish it didn't. But yeah, so that's the real reality of the situation. Is don't for a second expect to see any money coming in for any legitimate amount of time. It's
interesting.
If you want to be a YouTuber, you need to do it like your high school, first year of high school type age, where you're in school, you know, expected to really have a job anyways, or you want to do it as a part-time thing. I'm not sure that the way I do it and just putting out so much is inherently speeding up the process that much. It probably is a little bit, but I don't know if it really is speeding up the process that much. If I had been doing this for 5 years as a part-time hobby while I was playing games,
Let's get
I think I'd be a lot further. I would hope. Let's see. Let's see if this works. I mean, I think this is my only choice. I can either do this. Let's try this.
I am undefeated.
Win, win, win. Yes. Great. So this guy's gonna summon a Warcraft if he uses this, and he'll probably use this on this, and then attack with maybe this? I don't know.
Form ranks!
Twice a turn. Warcraft, is that a frog? I can't see what the picture is. So he's got to kind of decide what he wants to do.
Perhaps.
Potentially could just summon this again. Next turn. Could try this. Would be nice if this hits this. Let's try this.
I am undefeated.
Come on, win again. Yes.
Prepare to lose!
That gets him down to 10. So if I got really lucky and played this and this and this hit the face every time, all 8, I would win next turn. That's pretty unlikely.
Perhaps.
If he played something that got rid of everybody on the board,
was a murloc!
that,
Get complacent.
come on. Desperately trying to beat me. Snipe whenever your opponent plays damage.
Prepare to lose!
See if this works. So close. Let's kill this. Let's play this. And end the turn. Yeah, YouTube is crazy. It's a crazy thought for a career. I don't know.
Interesting.
That was one thing. I was watching Hannah Hart be the introducer or whatever they do when they need to fill some time on BBC America for they're showing like some of the best Doctor Who rebooted episodes, and she was hosting. I suppose that's what that's called. And
Job's done.
well, that worked quite well. That's how Locked and Loaded's supposed to work right there. So she started off as a YouTuber that doing My Drunk Kitchen, and I don't even watch My Drunk Kitchen anymore. You've seen one, you've seen them all, basically, is the problem.
Perhaps.
And she's now getting more and more played as a new star, a new face of Hollywood type things, and a lot of the famous people on YouTube are starting to look that way. It's like, yeah, they're gonna just be the new faces of Hollywood, and they're gonna get pulled right back into the same systems, or they're gonna try and change the system and become something that I couldn't emulate or wouldn't want to emulate. And in a lot of ways, they already are the biggest people. You see, a lot of the biggest people have cameras on them. They're making their face the important thing, and their content. My Drunk Kitchen, it's hardly super critical, or it's like information. It's just silliness, and that's really not something I could ever really do. I just don't think that's gonna be me.
Death.
I'm about the games. And if without the games, I'm pretty much nothing. You don't want to see a face cam of me, even if you think you do. You're just gonna see pictures of me talking. You don't want to distract me with chat things. I don't want me to become the type of person who would be like doing ice bucket challenges or whatever all these other challenges are that pop up every week. I'm not in the loop with any of that stuff. But
versus Illyria.
that's not something I did. I did see like the Happy Meal challenge, and I think I probably could do that. I think I probably could eat a Happy Meal very fast, just because I in general eat food very fast. Often to the point of choking on it. Not very slow either. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. What I want to talk about is the Doctor Who episode. So it was the end of time, which is arguably maybe the best episode since the reboot of Doctor Who, but that is praising it with faint damnation, if I can coin that phrase, because it's really not a good episode. What it is that
Ranks!
it's good for the last like 15 or 20 minutes of a 2 to 2.5 hour movie length episode, but it is off the wall. The writing goes in all different places. It has to do a bunch of action things and ridiculous things that aren't necessary.
Wanted, dead or alive.
It is because this is where I believe his name's David Tennant dies at the end, and they introduce the next guy, and it is pretty impactful there. But if they'd gone through it again and really worked on some things, it would have been significantly better. And but it's arguably the best one, which is again why I say when you start really thinking about episodes of Doctor Who,
Your
they're,
mother was a Murloc!
particularly for me, I've realized that they are impactful the first time I see them, and then you are put through this just torturous amount of waiting between each season. It's over a year now, on average, I would say, between one season and another, because they will do the Christmas episodes and then pretend like that's enough, and then it really isn't. And it really also points to just not how I want to watch TV anymore.
You smell like a leopard!
I don't want to watch a season and then wait even the average length, even wait one year for it to come back. I just don't want to do that. So more and more, I'm not even watching live TV. And because there's so much waiting between even individual episodes between seasons, sometimes
What to do?
you do kind of appreciate it. It feels like a rarity. But when you start trying to think about it in retrospect or watch it again, it's like, well, this episode's not good. I've already seen it. I don't need to see it again. Type stuff. But even worse, the end of time, and this really makes very little sense, but in general it doesn't make any sense, and that's kind of the problem. The end of time introduces this concept that it's not actually a good thing for Gallifrey to come back. That it's actually a bad thing. Which, okay. And it introduces it pretty well. It says that if Gallifrey ever came back, that it would bring the Time War with them, and the people, the Time Lords who were running Gallifrey were crazy people anyways, and they were trying to basically destroy the universe as their final solution. And it also, spoiler alert, either kills or destroys the Master. Now, I am pretty sure it either kills him, destroys him, or locks him on Gallifrey too. Now, I'm pretty sure somewhere between the end of time and the point we are now with the last episode that came out of Doctor Who, they explained fully that the universe has been rebooted a couple times, and all the things that happened in that era don't matter at all and happen differently, and that's why they can do this. But it literally makes no sense to the point where we are. It makes no sense at all, because now at this point the main goal is to find Gallifrey. That I think in like the 75-year anniversary, 100-year anniversary episode, they said that he hid Gallifrey anyways, so it couldn't have possibly, the things that happened at the end of time make even less sense then. There's no mention whatsoever of the bad people. In the episode, the man who stayed for Christmas, he seemed to be at least somewhat on friendly terms with the Gallifreyan people. So I've totally lost the plot on this whole story, and if it's not making any sense to you, either I'm sorry, but I would like to hear in the comments if somebody is a super Doctor Who fan and they can explain just what the timeline is, even though I know the universe has been rebooted a couple times since then, and none of that matters, but I can't really just accept that the universe has been rebooted and none of the episodes matter. Because if I start to accept that, then I also have to take in I also need to accept that then just none of the episodes matter in their own story. That is the
freed from the curse.
next level of this. Would be that
Let's negotiate. You concede, and I'll let you live.
because like none of the episodes matter, really. Honestly, that is the truth of it. As far as Doctor Who cares, none of the episodes matter. It's all being written by Stephen Moffat too, so that really makes even less sense. You would think
grand tournament, you win or you die.
you would think that he would try to at least have his own storyline stay somewhat connected, but he doesn't. He has each season is somewhat connected, but that's it. Hero power. This would cost 1 less for each time I used it. Let's see.
I enjoy raiding!
And then this. And then
Take this blade.
And a freezing trap. And then let's see. 4-2 with charge. I'll change that.
Job's done.
And in the turn. That works. That works pretty well. So I could do this, then this for 5, then this for 3. Or 4. Yeah. Next turn. That'll work. So yeah, it makes no sense. The Master came back in the last season, spoiler alert again, as a new actress, this time. I think, honestly, that was too early to bring her back.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Honestly, I think it was way too early to be bringing her back since it hadn't been that long. And the way the Master changes sides and becomes a good guy, all this is gonna get spoiled of Doctor Who, but I mean, he turns from being a horrible bad guy, just like the arch nemesis of Doctor Who, to being a good guy, to being a crazy bad guy again. And it almost follows story plot. It almost does, but it doesn't explain how it got brought back or
Who to shoot?
how he got off Gallifrey or any of that stuff. And I want to see all of that explained a little bit better. I've just noticed too that anything with Inspire has a blue flag on it.
Funnel cakes! Get your funnel cakes here!
Alright.
I am
This one.
freed from the curse.
So notice that if I played this again, it would still just cost 1. Victory. So yeah, they just have retconned everything. Doctor Who's at the end of time, which kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. Well, we've got 10 wins, so you now know what 10 wins of a brawl is. That quest in general, I think, is a little unacceptable, because if the tavern brawl is one of these tavern brawls that's hard to win, or it makes me play as characters that I don't really want to work on, we've got no overlap, and that's exactly what's happened here. Is we've gotten 0 overlap on this at all. Well, and I don't know what else to say. Looks like we might be almost 1,000, almost to 1,000 by the time we open the 50 packs. That's good news. Hopefully they don't speed up the process. This has been a long episode though, so I'm not going to go any further. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want to friend and follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.